Will the Pancake Flip from Blue Dwarf. Podcast voiced by Mr. Tenpup. Original post written by Henry Pottimer on March the 29th, 2011. Who? Justin Pancake, John Bromin and Samantha Karen. Where? Blue Dwarf. When? After John Bromin ran away from the Hymenoptera. An injured John Bromin tripped and fell to the floor, clutching his bleeding arm. Justin peered out from the supply pipes he'd been hiding behind with Samantha Karen and dragged him into an alcove. The Space Corps soldiers ran right past. "Let me see your wound," asked Justin, and almost gagged when Bromin lunged the bleeding wound into his face. "Have you got any medical alcohol?" Justin asked the woman. "Yes, here," she said, handing him a bottle. Justin downed the lot. "I thought that was for my wound," Bromin asked. "Oh, sorry," Justin said. "I needed a drink. You need to seal that wound up, though. It looks nasty. All I've got is this pocket welder." John Bromin pulled his arm away. "No way, man. I'll take my chances with the Hymenoptera." Justin froze with excitement. "There's a Hymenoptera here?" "Yes, it's tried to kill me." "Cool," he said. "Stay here or I'm going to go and see if I can talk to it." "What?" said John, pulling him back with his good arm. "Hymenoptera are monsters. What are you doing?" Justin took a deep breath. "Calm down. A time traveller told me a long time ago that I'd be the first captain of a human Hymenoptera warship. I've got to start somewhere." "But it'll rip you apart!" shouted John, chasing after him and leaving Samantha in hiding. "Or," said Justin, "it'll bow down to me as its new leader." "You're crazy," said John, and stopped walking. Then he cried out in pain and fell to his knees. The bleeding was getting worse. "Shut up, you big baby," said Justin, and took out the pocket welder, running the searing hot laser across John's arm to even more screams. "There, he's cauterized now. You're not going to bleed to death, but you will have a manly scar." John staggered to his feet. "So do you seriously think we'll make an alliance with the Hymenoptera?" Justin thought for a moment. "An alliance? No." "Then what?" "I think they'll conquer humanity, but then realise we're useful." John shook his head. "You're crazy. That will never happen. The Queen wants us to exterminate them. The Captain is going to take us to their homeworld and wipe them out once and for all." Justin laughed. "Do you think it's that easy? The Hymenoptera are a more powerful race. They are the most powerful race in the galaxy. It's amazing they've let us live this long." John gulped. "So, which side are you on?" They stopped at a doorway and saw Space Corps Marines up ahead. Justin had always wanted to be in the Marines, but he wasn't physically tough enough and had an alcohol problem at the time he registered with the Space Corps. "Those soldiers are the bad guys," Bromin whispered. Justin turned to him. "No way, man. Those soldiers are on the same side you are. The only reason they're attacking us is because our captain has decided to go on a revenge mission against the Hymenoptera. Can you see the Space Corps logo on their uniform? It's the same one you've got on yours. We're on the same team." To prove it, Justin walked forward into the room. "Hello, fellas," he said. The last thing he saw was the Space Corps logo on the butt of a rifle as it swung towards his face. Justin lost consciousness. While he was asleep, he had some weird dreams. At first, he was on his bed and saw a spider crawl up his leg. Then he realised it wasn't a spider. It was a full-sized Hymenoptera towering above him. Then he watched as a large creature morphed into a sexy female body. She was standing away from him, and he could only see the slender curves of her back. Her skin was peppered with green veins. Hymenoptera blood pumping through her lovely body. He waited for the woman to turn around, hoping it was Rosette or Amber, two girls he'd had crushes on, purely because they'd been turned into Hymenoptera. As she turned to him, he noticed she had 10 round spider's eyes bulging out from her face, and she leaned in for a kiss. Justin thought he should resist, but he didn't. Then she was gone, and Justin was stood in a familiar room, a spotlight illuminating a doorway. Before he looked at the doorway, he tried to see everything else in the room, and realised this was William Eckersley's holiday home on New Tenerife, a place where he'd met the eccentric boss of the JMC several years ago. He looked at the highlighted doorway, something he'd always wished he'd worked out the significance of. A plaque on the door read, "Corridor of Infinite Perversions." He sighed and looked around. Potential, you dickhead, are you messing with my mind again? He pushed open the door which led into a corridor. It was the real Corridor of Infinite Perversions on Starbase 69, where he'd been told to meet Porky Roebuck. At the end of the corridor stood Potential. "What are you doing here? Why am I here?" Justin shouted, and heard his voice echo down the corridor. "I've been watching you your entire life," said the time traveller. "Not just watching, manipulating," said Justin. "I've seen that infinite perversion sign everywhere." "I told you to come here and give something to Eckersley's right-hand man," Potential said. "Yeah, and I did. When am I going to be captain of a starship?" Justin demanded. "You messed it up," said Potential. "You didn't deliver the package in time." "What? So that's it? My entire future is ruined?" Potential paused for a very long moment, then shook his head. "There is a way you can still become captain of a Hymenoptera warship." "What is it? Don't keep me in suspense." Potential lowered his bushy eyebrows. "Stop Captain Chrysler from destroying the Hymenoptera." Justin felt a chill go down his spine. He'd done a lot of stupid things, but this one made him feel uncomfortable. He nodded. "Okay." Justin woke up from his dream with a soldier staring over him. "Welcome back. My name is Sergeant Trial. Call me Bert," said the soldier. "Oh, hi," said Justin. To his left, John Bromin was tied to a chair. "Look, I just want you to know that I'm on your side." "Don't worry, sir," said the soldier. "We know you're a friend of Mr. Eckersley from the JMC. In fact, he's recorded this video message for you." Sergeant Trial wheeled a video in front of him and set it playing, then left the room. On the TV, the face of the JMC's boss appeared. "Hello, Justin. Remember me?" asked Eckersley. "I'm afraid to say your captain's self-declared war with the Hymenoptera is causing us a lot of trouble." Justin nodded and looked over at John, who didn't look convinced. "We can't let Chrysler destroy the Hymenoptera homeworld," he said. "We've done a lot of testing, and we think that the future of humanity involves the Hymenoptera. A war at this stage would put a strain on our relationship with them. You have to stop the Blue Dwarf from going on this mission. Take a gun and join the Marines. Try to convince the rebel Captain Chrysler to reconsider without having to kill him." The video ended. Sergeant Trial came in, gave Justin a gun, and untied Bromin. Justin immediately put the gun to his head. "So, John, which side are you on?" he asked. "The Space Corps or the rebel J. Chrysler?" This podcast is a work of fiction and is in no way endorsed, approved, or even liked by the creators of Red Dwarf. For more stories and information, visit bluedwarf.co.uk.